Hi, friends and family. Welcome back to UPlug. Welcome to the channel that keeps you plugged in to the latest relationship conversations and so much more. We're glad to be back. It's been a while, and we hope that you are tuned in. We hope that your post notifications have been turned on so that you could get this episode. And as you can see, we have a guest. But before we go there, I am Mac. I'm the head and I'm not the tail. I'm above and I'm not beneath.
Yes.
I'm a child of the Most High God. I'm blessed and highly favored, a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a nation belonging to God, to declare the praises of Him who has called me out of darkness into the beautiful world of relationships. And I am not alone.
Oh, you remembered, man.
Yeah.
Yes, Meg has already said, welcome to UPlug. Thank you for choosing UPlug as your channel of choice. We really do appreciate you are tuning in, and we really appreciate you engaging our content. And if you happen to be here for the first time, nagi opa wa garamalegana. Gamnar nom sudo wa gadafasa wa shadro gatagas. Gingidan gamazul gamar matutursa. Gigo blabur tabatura maru mutul komanitsani. Puta komu utara mutu. And I love being here, friends and family. And as you can see, we do have a visitor, but she's kind of not a visitor. Ish. No. Please greet the U-pluggers.
Hello, you pluggers. I'm Kuda. I don't have a long intro, Yana, but I am Kuda.
Yeah. And I'm sure she's not new to your faces. I think if you have been following our content in episode 5, now we're episode 100 and something. Yeah, that's
over 900 subscribers now.
over 900.
The levels.
Yeah, so if you can check episode 5, we've had a conversation with Kuda, and it has been an interesting one, and she's back again. We kind of want to get what's happening, a young catch up nyana, and maybe have some more conversation as we have been going. So thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we are so excited to have you with us here. And we hope that, obviously UPlug has become your home.
Of course.
Check her out. Also check her socials as well. She does a lot of stuff. She's an artist, singing. She does makeup as well. Yes, she did my sister's 21st. And that was quite awesome. And she does some covers by Kuda on her YouTube. So please check her out. And book her for your stuff, please.
Please.
Yeah. So do the right thing. Just
the
as we start
details
the
right there on your screen.
Oh yeah, please.
Yeah.
You're sure. Let's catch up.
Okay.
Let's catch up. The last time when we had our conversation, we spoke about the most frequent asked questions. Man, I'm just thinking of how far this has been, man.
Yeah.
Mac was not married that time.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Mac was not. That was in 2020, man. Mac was not married that time, and he also responded to the same question. What are the most frequently asked questions? Which was a question of when are you getting married and when are you having babies? Yeah. So how has it been from then? Do you still deal with those same questions, or maybe are you married?
Maybe something changed.
And the babies.
We need to catch up. If that's the question that you are frequently asked, yes, we would like to see how has your response changed when you are asked that question. When are you getting married?
The questions have not stopped.
Oh yeah.
I'm not married.
Okay.
I do not have babies.
Okay.
So that hasn't changed from the last episode.
Yeah.
But the questions are still there. Especially now. We're closer to closing off the calendar.
Oh yeah.
Age-wise.
Oh yeah.
So, and I was funny enough this morning. I was having that conversation with an older church member.
Oh yeah, sure.
Who was saying, "Hey, time is running. You guys need to start with the babies. We want to play with our grandkids now." And we are almost 70. How are you 70 without a grandchild? I'm like, you're making your problems my problem.
Oh yeah.
So the questions are still there, unfortunately, and there's no other way to respond. Hey, one day, God's timing, Yeah.
But what it doesn't change how you feel about the subject, about you being asked the same question over and over. When are you getting married? Doesn't it at some point add some level of pressure, especially coming also adding on to the conversation of having children, which I believe it's one of the most sensitive conversations that I feel is being treated casually.
Yes.
But also some people have decided, like when they were about to close the calendar, as you're saying, that no, it looks like it's the calendar is really closing. Maybe a person must just close their eyes and a child or two, and then we'll come back to marriage and stuff.
So for me personally, I don't take too much offense to the questions, but I fully agree with the people should stop asking about the babies part. Marriage, okay, fine.
Yeah,
we can have that conversation if people are ready for that conversation. Because some people don't even want to get married. You know. But for me, I do want to get married. So if you're gonna ask me when are you getting married, when God agrees and brings a person, and then you know. But asking about babies, it's very tricky.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what that person's going through behind closed doors. Maybe they are trying, and when are you just adding that pressure? And it does add pressure to us as well, because what parents don't do is bridge the gap. Your whole life, you go through a don't talk to boys. You're gonna fall pregnant. Don't even look at a boy. And then all of a sudden, it's when are you having babies? And you're like, how?
When did we?
The in between.
Sure.
There was no conversation about dating. There was no conversation about what happens when you get married. What happens in marriage. Which are conversations I think people should be having, because you go from a place of don't look at a boy, and then you fall into this thing where they're like, okay, shata. And then you shata, and then there are things in the marriage that you're experiencing you were not prepared for, that they could have told you about. So, nabazali bethu nabo, they need to really fix this.
So
from
conversations should change.
Exactly. They should
evolve rather.
Evolve. Open up. Speak about the things you went through, so that we know what to expect when we go into a marriage or into dating rather, because we really do go from you're a child, don't look at a boy, to ushatani.
From zero
and you're
to
like,
hero.
how? Who am I shutting? Because I wasn't looking at boys.
Sure. That's interesting.
I'm trying really to remember. I'm sure by now, when this airs, I'll be 2 years married.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember, and because I think I can relate to that fact that it's like don't speak to girls, and then before you know it is when are you getting married, and that pressure. How do you think being where we are now, how can we play a role in the lives of those who are coming after us? If there's any that we can do, and if it's even important to do that.
I think it's very important to do that. My siblings say I'm very rebellious because I sort of push my parents into a corner of accepting certain things that they wouldn't necessarily, so for me, because I want those conversations to be had, and because I'm saved, I want them to be had in the church. It's very important to have the dating conversation, but how do I date as a Christian young girl? We need to step away from the abafana, the fear aspect of it, because whether parents like it or not, it's gonna happen. So at my church, I sort of at youth force those conversations. Oguti, let's invite the parents and have those conversations. Parents, how do I date as a young Christian?
If you should date.
Should I date as a young
because
Christian?
Because there's some that's assuming that parents are okay with dating.
Exactly.
There are some who are like, no, that's a no-go.
Exactly. So in the last youth conference that we've had, we have these young and Christian sessions,
Okay.
where we have sit-down conversations with the parents, and we ask these questions where I'm just like, okay, you want me to get married, but yesterday you said I mustn't look at boys. How do we bridge the gap? Okay, how did you meet my dad? Was there dating? Was there courtship? How do we go about it? How do we go about it in a way that's still godly? Because whatever we learn, because you've instilled fear in us, whatever we learn is what you pick up on the street. Right? And you end up doing wrong things because you were not told what the right way of doing it is. And for some reason, the church shies away from having those conversations. And that's where we are needed as the church, those spaces. So for the generations to come, I think it's important for us who are still there to start having that conversation, so that when they come, it's a norm. They don't have to fight for the conversation, right? And Nati, when now you're married, for your kids, have that conversation as as the parents, so that kids don't go out looking for things when in the house you get that information, you get that. Like a child is not gonna go and look for things outside if Zikona in the space. So that's
I think we need to call your dad to come and speak for himself.
I think so.
you have said some stuff. He must come and defend himself.
Must defend himself.
I think it's only fair. but I hear you.
Actually, that would be nice. Just to get an opinion from maybe let's even while we are still there. I mean, you are a person who has been in the limelight as an artist who sings, who does makeup, but also who is a PK, and not just the PK. You are a PK and the P is also known out there.
So now I'm the K to that P.
I mean, it adds into this
Very
whole thing. But I just want to check, how is it navigating dating from the limelight?
Not easy. And I think it's building any kind of relationship from a limelight, because you don't know people's intentions. It's so much easier when you're just a person in the world to meet people authentically. But now, because you're in the limelight, you don't know if you came here because of the name, or you just want a piece of the light, or I don't know what your intention is. So when I meet people, be it friendships or dating, for me, I really need to pray about it, because I'm not someone who wants to go into any kind of relationship 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I really want to go full force. And it's hard to do that when I don't know what your intention is. Or I maybe there's a piece of doubt. It's okay, you say that you're here for the right thing, but in the long run, am I going to find out something? Or am I going to find out, oh, you saw me at a show, Tizenyo, and you're like, I'm going to try, and so I think it's very difficult. Just from an intentions point of view.
Do you find pastors who are coming, to because they need, Mamfundis who sings, who is,
who sings, and
pastors, stay away from me. I beg. Don't look here for Mamfundis. When you have the first-hand experience of a pastor and Mamfundisi and PK situation, you don't go looking for those things. Like I always say, if it happens, and I'm already in the marriage, and the husband is now called, then okay, I can't do anything about it. But
The one who's
I
called
You are already called.
must not come.
Hey. God has said nothing to me. So stay there, please.
Yeah, that's
But the question still is, are the pastors coming? Or what are the stats looking like?
yeah.
Like,
Who
is it more?
Who is
of
more
them?
courageous? Is it people in the church or outside the church, or people who are heading the church? Who's more courageous?
No, it's not really the heading the churches that are
Okay.
courageous.
Yeah.
It's the in the church.
Okay.
But now I have to sift through because I'm present and serving and there in the church.
Okay.
And then you get people who are just
Lukewarm.
attending
Oh,
or Sunday Christians, and you're like, it's not really what I. It's like, I don't know, in an ideal world, or in between the pastor and the Sunday Christian.
Yeah. You want someone who is
Yeah,
someone who's involved.
involved, and
Yeah.
you're serving, but you're not the pastor. And you're not a Sunday Christian, just somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're sifting through right now.
What about pastors?
Hey, Kosam. Hey. No, I think it's the responsibility.
Okay.
There's a lot that comes with being a mumfundisi.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a lot that comes with being married to a pastor. Already being married to a human being is a lot of responsibility. But now that human being is Kosam. No, seeing what pastors do
Yeah.
from a child point of view, I guess, and seeing what my mom has to do in support of that
Yeah, yeah.
is a lot of work. And a lot of not just physical work, but just spiritual, mental, all of it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know if
maybe
I'm
we should call your mom to come
strongest.
and defend herself too.
Two.
She
Yeah.
must come and give
Yeah,
us a
yeah.
first-hand.
Yeah, no, she can come.
Yeah, that would be
You know,
nice.
Upmamfundisi needs someone with a heart for people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't have a heart for people,
Not sure. I hear you.
but I've seen the levels it needs.
Yeah.
And I don't know
No.
if I'm that person every day.
Okay. Okay. Sure. So it must be every day.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have to
no,
be
you-
that
you-
person every day.
Yeah.
No, I get you. I want to go back to dating in the limelight.
Okay.
If you are to date, or when you decide to enter the dating pool, what mechanisms do you kind of use to decipher, to say, let's first look at these things, and then we can from there sieve and sieve.
So for me, firstly, I have to be very realistic. And
Or not
also,
only just for you, just as a
as
person, as a human
okay.
being. Yeah.
Be realistic. I like making decisions sober-minded. There's this thing of people just jumping into relationships, and I don't think I'm at an age where I can just blindly jump in
Yeah,
or
sure.
whatever. So being realistic, 1. 2, what are my deal breakers? For me, you have to be a Christian.
Okay.
You have to be...
And not just a Christian, you have to be serving.
Yes, you
Yeah,
need to be
must be
serving.
little.
You need to be
Uh,
blood washed, baptized by
yes.
the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Speak the same language.
Yes.
I feel like it's important to be equally yoked.
Yeah.
Because sizobane inkinga going forward.
Okay.
There are many issues that come from people not coming from the same place or believing the same thing. Even in your marriage, what you believe in your marriage and how you go about your household things, how you
Sure.
raise your children, how you deal with extended family, things
Yeah.
like that are important. And if we don't believe or have the same values, then it's gonna be a mess.
Okay.
So for me, those are my 2 things.
Yeah.
I'm very realistic, and I will look at if you are a Christian or not.
Yeah.
If you are serving in a church, what church is it?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I always laugh and say this, but I'm being very serious, and people think I'm joking. But if I ask you what church you go to, and you don't have a straight answer, I'm just like, okay. When I say, because I'm serving in my church, when I say leaders, I am leaving, or I'm writing a resignation letter. I'm leaving Cross Power Ministries to go to where?
Where am I going?
Exactly.
If you don't have
Who's
my
the pastor
where,
there?
who's the pastor? What do you believe?
Yeah.
I can't do that with you, my brother.
Okay.
And I don't want to then sell you dreams.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's see where it goes. See where it goes.
Yeah.
I draw the line and see where it goes.
Yeah, sure.
I don't see where things go. If it doesn't go the first day,
Yeah, you don't want to see them
not wasting
going.
time with anyone.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, I don't have time for that. So people need to have their priorities straight
Okay, sure.
in the dating pool, because a lot of people come and look like what you think you want. But then when you go deeper and have a conversation with them, you realize that this is not actually what I want.
You know one thing that I have seen, I don't know if Meg will have a question, maybe we'll even go back to that. One thing that I've noticed about Christians in the dating pool, or on the dating, just my observation from a distance, and I'm observing both males and females. And you will tell me if I am, I don't know. My observation is there's a line there that says someone is not decisive, and that's just me. And this is what this is where I'm trying to get into. Like, you find a Christian lady like yourself, as you have been describing, a person who is serving, who is committed to serving a local church at some capacity, whatever it may be, but they must be committed. I've seen it in my observation. I see how ladies in the church, they want someone who is dead, but at least with some bad boys character nyana. But there's this holiness plus bad boy, this nice plus rough. This both from males and females. Mustn't be too much holy. No. And it must not be too soft as well. You know, there must be this, and both males and females, even males, you know, she must be males will like the one who is committed at church, but she must be rough on some edges, like when it's just on for him only. It must be this in and out kind of vibe, you know. You must have this, but with a touch of something out there and something out there. And I don't know, that's just my observation, observing both brothers and and sisters.
That's
I don't
true.
know.
My answer to this, I've seen that, what you're talking about. My answer to this is like a line from a song that I actually did once as a cover. No Grey, Cross Power Experience 3.
Okay, sure.
And
Check it
says,
out, please.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. It's easy for us to be in the world, but also go to church, right?
Yeah.
But as Christians, that's not what God says we must do,
Sure.
right? This thing of, you mustn't be too holy. Yes, we must be too holy.
Yeah.
You have to be too holy.
Yeah, sure.
That's what God says you must do.
Yeah, sure.
You can't be like, oh, I'm holy on Sunday, and then the rest of the week sure. Or Friday nights I'm somewhere else. We have to seek holiness. So at some points in my life, maybe I was those people who were indecisive, but now I think because I've intentionally chosen to follow Christ and all that it entails. Which means putting in the work. Which means I can't be lukewarm. I can't be grey. I have to be black or white.
Yeah, sure.
So as Christians, we need to be black or white. Choose a side.
Yeah.
You can't be a Sunday Christian. You can't be lukewarm. You can't call people holy. You must be holy.
Yeah, sure.
You must be those people. You can't be like, ang fanabo.
Yeah.
Fananabo.
Yes.
Those are your people.
Yeah, sure.
You know? Those are your people.
Yeah.
You can't say, I'm not like them. You know, I'm still cool.
Yeah,
You still want to be nice and cool and fit in with the things of the world, but we are not of this world.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
You need to decide.
Yeah. Can't be mzalane light.
Yeah, Mzalane you can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, to Ope's thing, I think having heard conversations, it may not necessarily be the case for everyone, but
Yeah.
I've also gotten a better understanding of the scenario that you're painting, in that I think there's a craving for God's design, in that a man who is created to lead a home,
Yeah.
a man who is created to be a priest of the household,
Yeah.
who so when I think that's how I sometimes interpret it, when they say I don't just want a walkover man, I don't just want somebody who is soft, not necessarily in spirituality wise, but somebody who will take the lead.
Yeah.
And which has also been a debate if the Bible is promoting like patriarchy, or if and this idea of submission, is it oppression, is it in the marriage space. So I think I've been entertaining like that idea a lot of what do you mean when you say you just want somebody who is rough? Do you lack the vocabulary to say I want somebody who is
No,
leader?
some I hear you, but
Thank
some
you.
don't lack that. Some are very
Someone said
specific.
rough.
Yeah, some are specific.
Yeah.
They know this kind of leadership, and they know this other kind of leadership that is pioneered by a particular person, particular influencer, someone out there, and they specifically want that. I mean, I hear what you are saying, and I hear it very well. In terms of maybe you want someone who is committed, someone who understands biblical leadership and stuff like that. I'm good with that. But there's just people who will specifically say, I won't date in the church space. I want someone, as long as they don't have problems with me going to church, or they go to church. They don't have to be involved or too much involved, and being liked by so many people. They want just someone who just want to come in, or some to the extreme. Even if he's not a Christian, it's fine. I will change him. You are dealing. You have that. People who say no. Everyone is created by God. We must love everyone. If I find love outside there, I must give them, I must accept them. They will change as time goes. You are dealing with that. That is the extreme part of it. But the one is that one, someone in the church, but with some rough edges. He must be nice and mean. He must be all of these things. He must be holy, but a birdie too.
That's you see, the problem lies in going after a type.
Yeah.
Because people have an ideal person in their mind.
Oh yeah, sure.
And there's no one person that's gonna fit
Those ideas.
all your ideas.
Yeah, for sure.
So I feel like if you're chasing after but but also but agana and you're gonna stress yourself, because you won't find that person. Then you're gonna be like 40 somebody, and like, why have I not been married?
Yeah.
Because you are looking for this specific type that does not exist. And in your mind, that would be the perfect person. So for me personally, I moved out of looking at types. I don't think I have a type. My type is a godly man.
Okay, sure.
And my type is very realistic, I guess. I don't have a type to.
It would be nice to expand on that realistic.
Well, realistic for me. And I think as people, we need to look at ourselves. Don't look at other people's marriage. Like, don't look at, Mac is...
Yeah.
And this is what worked for Mac, so it should work for me.
Okay,
no.
Yeah.
If I like certain things done a certain way, then I'm realistic to know it's okay. Lo muntu who is my ideal probably won't do lent. Okay, fine, muhle and we are caller. But the way he raises the children,
yeah.
Then relook at that. Are you willing to live with that for the rest of your life? Because that is what you're going to say that I do for the rest of my life. Am I accepting this for the rest of my life? Yes or no?
Okay, yeah, sure. So
And
don't
that's
go
where
into things hoping.
Yeah,
Must deal
you can't
with...
change a person.
Yeah.
That's now my powers of changing people. Only God can do that.
Yeah.
And if I go into a relationship saying, but he'll change. 50 years down the line he doesn't change, and then I'm gonna go to God and say, but God, why?
Yeah.
It wasn't God, it's you who decided.
Okay.
So now you're gonna ask God, your person, it's not his person. When you took a person and said, God agree,
And you present them to yeah.
you can't do that.
Okay.
So that's where I feel like the realistic.
Okay.
You know, can I deal with the things that this person brings every day for the rest of my life?
Okay. So that's being realistic for you.
Yeah.
You are assessing a situation for what it is,
For
and
what
not
it
for
is.
what you hope it will.
Yes.
It will become, because
Yeah.
hope can just become hope.
Yeah, I can hope for the next
yeah,
50 years.
Yeah, it can remain
Exactly.
as is. Oh, I like that. I think that's very important. Now let's talk to someone who is considering dating or re-entering the dating pool. Let's start from the beginning now. What are some of the things they need to have in order as they will enter into dating or re-enter? What do you think are things that are important?
You know, re-entering the dating scene is quite tiring because you have to start again, getting to know this person, getting to know what makes them tick, getting to know how they react to situations, their favorite color, their favorite food, their favorite music, and you sort of have to find your way if we can make that work. Patience, but also I think what's important is to focus on self, fix self, make sure self has healed from whatever if I feel like if you're re-entering, you've left a situation. Heal from all of that and all the things you have learned or unlearned and relearned in that situation, because you're entering into a whole new space.
Sure.
And it would be unfair to the next person for you to bring all that baggage from the last person to this person, because they did nothing. They by a fee, basically. So heal from the last, focus on self, and make sure you are ready to start over, because that's literally what it is. You are starting from zero. Have that patience to start from zero with this person. Yeah, I feel like I'm at that re-entering stage right now.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm also trying to navigate.
So the brothers can shoot the shot. Not past
Now. Now, that is the brothers and shooting their shot. The brothers are not shooting properly.
Okay.
Yeah, no, help them.
The brothers are not shooting properly
Yeah.
because the brothers now have become lazy.
Okay.
I feel like the brothers are wanting us to shoot our shots.
Okay.
So they sort of do this thing where they lay a foundation and then they wait for you to come.
Oh yeah. Okay.
They want, like, you know, if you
Yeah.
lay honey and then you like, bees
Yeah,
come.
Oza,
You know?
Like texting, hey.
Yeah, like you start the conversation, you start it off, and then you disappear. And now you want me to come chase you. And unfortunately, I'm not that girl.
Okay.
You know?
Brothers, take note.
Take note, please.
Begazela, push
I'm not that
until
girl.
something happens.
Yes.
Kutiwa he who finds,
Yeah.
not she who finds.
Okay.
So you must find me.
Yes.
I'm not gonna chase you.
Okay.
Unfortunately, if
And
you
and-
disappear, you disappear.
Yeah.
And there's no hard to get in the process. Or is that an integral part of the process that it has to happen?
You know what? I'm not really. I don't know if I'm into the games, the mind games of the dating thing.
Okay.
We'll have a conversation. If it flows, it flows. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. And if there comes a point where I need to be like, "Hey, my brother, it's not working,"
Yeah.
then I will be honest about. Like, I'm very into having the conversation and having an honest conversation. If it's not working, it's not working.
Okay.
Let's have the conversation. But also, brothers, stop this thing where you are trying to trap me and trying to get me to chase you.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not doing that.
It's not coming. It's not happening.
Yeah, if you're looking for a partner, show. And also, I always feel like you set the tone of your relationship.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna be that guy, then does that mean throughout my relationship I need to run after you,
Okay, sure.
or are you gonna take lead as the head of the household?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you going to take lead and show me, okay, if you're gonna ask me on a lunch date, say, I think we should go for lunch. This thing of when are you coming to see me? Are you in hospital? Do we have visiting hours?
Oh, the people must grow. Their language must
man,
evolve.
take initiative.
Yeah. Not when are you coming to
When
see
you're coming
me?
to see
Are
me,
you
Haibo?
admitted?
You're admitted in hospital, surely. So no,
Yeah,
let's change
you
the
don't
way we
roll
do
like
things.
that. Yeah,
You know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I feel like dating depends on where you are at as a person. I feel like when a person is like 23, 24, they may expect something different than someone who
Very
is in
true.
their late or early 30s, or even going that side. I mean, as you are saying, as an adult, you don't have time to be chased around. Say what
do you want?
Yeah.
Where's this going?
Yeah, don't just this thing of saying hey on and then we wait for my response to say.
Yo.
Just say what do you want.
For 3
And
months, it's hey,
Hi,
hey,
hi.
How are you?
doing? And that's after some time, you know. Yeah, but I don't know. As someone who, you know, I mean, who, if you find the right person, you will get married whenever you get married. As someone who's not into hey hi, what would you say? It's like, what do you want? If someone is to date someone who is at the state you are in, like the state of mind and stuff.
Have your vision clear.
Uh-huh.
Why are you pursuing this?
Okay.
So from day one.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I am meeting you for the first time,
Okay.
I need to know whatever the conversation we're having, that it's headed to a certain.
Okay.
I'm not dating for fun anymore.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
know?
sure.
I'm not there.
You don't have time for those things
Yes.
anymore.
So have that clear. Why are you here? Also, that is very, for me, I'm very observant. Me, Nage. So when you come in the DMs, I sort of can tell in the first few weeks, is this going anywhere or no?
Yeah.
Because the conversations, one, you start off in the DMs maybe. Some people are in the DMs for 5 months and you're like,
Yeah, sure.
you don't have my number, you've never asked for my number, you've never, like,
Yeah,
there's
sure.
no progress here.
Yeah.
Like, you're stuck in the DMs and it's hey, hi for
Yeah.
5 months.
Yeah, sure.
You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
There are people who got in the DMs 2 days later. Can I have your number?
Yeah, sure.
A week later, I want to take you out for. Yeah, but
Yeah,
things
sure.
are moving.
Yeah.
You see that this person, okay. By the time we get to the lunch date and are having a face-to-face conversation, I've already seen the pattern of
Yeah.
the type of person you are.
Yeah, sure.
So that's, I need people who are taking initiative,
Uh-huh.
people who know what they're doing, because when it comes to a place where now we are in a relationship, still your vision needs to be clear.
Yeah, sure.
Because when we decide to get married, I, as your wife, as the helper that God has given you, need to buy into your vision.
Okay, sure.
And if you don't have a vision, what am I buying into?
Okay.
Hey, speak.
Yeah.
That, I feel like that also speaks to the submission
Yeah, sure.
part of
Yeah,
the
sure.
thing, because I'm not going to submit if there's nothing to submit to.
Yeah. Okay.
So submission is something that comes naturally to
Okay.
women.
Okay.
I will, most women. Let
Sure.
me not speak for everyone.
Uh-huh.
But when there's something to submit to,
Mhm.
it's easy to just go into the, I want to run away from the word role because Abantu will get touchy, but it's easy to just sink into that position.
Okay.
Okay.
So for me, if you don't know that you're the head of the household, then I must tap into a space that I'm not naturally
Okay.
built for. Now I must be head of a household. Well, God did not make me a head of anything. I'm a helper,
Sure.
right? So I need someone who knows who they are and who knows their vision, so that when I come, you say your vision, I must decide, am I buying into that or not? and then that's a natural flow of that I can tell from the first conversation I have with you.
Okay, sure. Okay, and I'm just thinking of that. I think that's very powerful. What would you say to someone who say, like on the very point you have mentioned submitting to a vision? What would you say to someone who say, why not to a person and to submitting to a person, and why not submitting to a person and not a vision? And someone who say, maybe this vision, we need to craft it together. Is it something that you would be willing to an ideology you would be willing to entertain? If someone says, I come as I am, as a person or prospective husband, the submission is to this person, and the vision is something that the two of us need to craft together, so that you are not imposed into something. It's something that we build together.
Okay.
Going forward, is it an ideology that you think you?
I think if the conversation is had, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, generally, a person should
you
have
come with
where
something.
they're going.
Yeah. As a person.
As a person.
Okay, that was scaring me a bit.
You
come and you have nowhere to go. Now I must come.
And help me
go somewhere. So that was scaring me a bit.
Yeah.
No, as a person, I get to Nami. I come and I have my own vision for my life.
Yeah.
And now you have your own. And when I say buy into your vision, I need to see myself, and I'm not saying maybe cancel my vision, and now I'm just following you around. But I need, the visions need to make sense.
How
right?
We
it needs to
journey
come
together.
Yes, we need to be able to journey together.
Yeah.
So when I buy into your vision, I'm buying into whatever you
partnership.
Now we are we are building together.
Yeah, no,
and if it doesn't make sense, then
you know what? I like how you put it this way.
Yeah.
Not because I have the issue with how you phrase it previously, but because that's how I hear it out there in the world, like the alpha female, you know, those concepts. Like they will say, I want a man who will lead me, a man who will do this, a man who will do that, and all of those things. Which there are a lot of truths into those things, but I feel like there's some displacement there. But I like the idea of, because all of us, we have a kingdom mandate. There is a specific responsibility that God wants me to fulfill as a child of God, and the same
100%.
With you. And when we come together, there need to be a joint one, and we need to see it working together. It can, for example, as a pastor feeling the call to pastor a local church, and there's someone who has pastoral call, who has a call into ministry, but to missions. They want to go to Zambia, Zimbabwe, and there. You know, that's where they feel fulfilled in going. You know, not that they're not the right person, but in terms of individual assignment and you coming together, it may not be coming together. You know, it may exist out, and it's not healthy to have someone pastoring a local church and someone gallivanting out there. Well, gallivanting is not the word I want to use. It's not the word I want to use, but I mean someone who's out there. So for me, it's the ideology, and how do we reshape even our vocabulary? I mean, as children of God who has this particular allegiance to God and to God's kingdom. Because I hear that a lot out there, you know. Women say, I want, this man must be this, it must be this, must be that, it must be that, which is okay, but I think we need to look at it differently as children of God, and with responsibilities assigned by God that I need to be doing as a husband, that you need to be doing as a wife, that children needs to be doing to form this unit called a family. Everyone has their individual responsibility, and in some of their stuff we have to see how those things work together. I'm more comfortable with that. Not that.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what.
I always laugh at. There's a thing that was happening on social media. I think I saw, where a lot of women were saying, "I want a man like this, and I like this, and he mustn't be like this." And And it's important for us also to be like, but am I that person's type?
Yeah.
So I want a man like this, like this, like this, like this. But when I see that man, or when I find that man, am I the person he wants?
Yeah.
So a lot of things are always the other person must be, and then we don't look at self. We don't prepare self to be that person's person.
Okay.
So now you want a husband, but are you the wife suitable for that husband?
For that husband. Hey.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Ladies, you answer that one.
I think that's where we need to park it. That's the question. Are you the one for them?
Are you the one for that person? we hear the wanting, and
I see what you want, but are you?
Are you that person? Yeah. I mean, I like what you have said when you kind of ground your comments, when you said it essentially goes back to finding healing for you, but also working on on this person. I think also for me, just to add on that as my closing remarks, I think it would be important, even within the dating space, to seek God's will for me. What does God want me to do? You're not gonna wait for someone else. This concept of I am incomplete without you. No. You can't be marrying incomplete people.
You can't.
What are you doing there? We need to find fulfillment in Christ and work on our relationship with Him, but also our relationship with ourselves. Have a healthy and a clear understanding of who you are before you invite someone else into your space as you navigate 100%. Dating. All the other stuff are important. The showing up, being proactive, and all of those stuff that we have mentioned. I think they're very important as well. I don't know.
Yeah, no. I think what I took from what you said was I think it's a bit of what Ope said, that you really need to find healing in being whole, because you don't want to find yourself looking for those parts that you've missed in another person. And that's why we can only be complete in Christ and in God.
Yeah, sure.
100%.
And that's why we cannot even, do it. I mean, you can, but it's not advisable for you to do it apart from Him, because all you're doing is really trying to be a better person. And I think the Lord calls us to be whole, and not just be a better version, because there's this narrative, I want to be a better version of myself, and I think it deviates from where God wants us to be. To be completely new people under His divine will and under His assignment. So I think that was good.
Yeah, sure. Oh wow, man, that was a lot of content right there. No. You came through with those nuggets from the last time. When are you getting married?
To now.
to now, and I mean, I am convinced that the U-pluggers out there have just grabbed a thing or two. As some of them will be re-entering the dating pool,
2024, going back, starting again.
Resolutions and all of those things.
We try again this year.
So as we are aiming at that, I think for me it goes back to what she says, Meg and Kuda says, find wholeness for you, but for yourself first, but also seek to find the will of God for your life, because that's where true wholeness is, so that you don't find yourself tolerating things that you should not be tolerating, because you yourself, you are not whole.
It's the seek first the kingdom.
Yes.
And literally every other thing will follow.
Yay, preach, sister. So yes, please let us know, what do you think about the conversations we've had? What are your experiences? Are you re-entering the dating pool? What are some of the things you are looking at? Or are you exiting the dating pool? what are the lessons you have learned from that. We would love to hear from you. So please, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe and you turn on your post notifications so that when we upload, you will be notified. And please invite other people to rally around this content as we continue to spread good news about relationships within the Christian context in this platform. So from the three of us, remain plugged. Ciao.